Welcome to
welcome.
Karmen's Couch, y'all. You know, how you doing? How you doing? I miss y'all. I miss sitting on my couch, y'all. My baby, I miss her. You know, I need to get back and get some dope people back on the couch. But listen, I got one of my preferred, one of the top dogs, a beast, the
Best
Rhino,
in the nation, baby.
the
You better
best
come on
in
in.
the
Woo!
game, the one and only
Boom.
Riccardo with Loan Depot. Y'all,
baby.
welcome Riccardo to the couch. Woo, woo, woo. Hey, what's going on? What's going on, sir?
My girl. Hey, everything is going on. Let's talk about some good stuff today.
Okay.
She's right. Best Riccardo. Best loan option in the nation. I don't care if I mess up. I wish we was live too.
It's
I don't
okay.
care.
It's
Let's do
all
it.
good.
Best in the nation. I'm excited. A lot of stuff to talk about today.
Yeah.
We can start wherever you want to start.
Yeah, so, you know, just like we were just kind of talking, I didn't even know we were recording at that time, but we have a great seminar coming up called Home for the Holidays. We are helping our renters become buyers. Listen, why is that so important, Riccardo?
Because when you rent, you're literally throwing away money.
Throwing it away.
You're throwing, and not only that, but we had to fight to be able to own property. That's a right that a lot of people died for, and take advantage of that. It makes no sense to rent unless you just want to rent, which I don't get. I'm sure some people do. I would like to actually find out the people who rent. If somebody out there who rents and you just want to rent, I'd like to know why.
Okay.
Why do you want to rent?
Yeah.
I never asked that question before.
That's a great question. Like, why do you want to rent? A lot of times they continue to rent because they don't know how easy it is to become a homeowner. They don't know, like, oh man, my credit is not that strong. You know, my credit is 500. 500 what? I mean, what is the lowest that FHA can qualify?
The lowest I've seen getting approved right now is 580.
Okay.
And even that's kind of sketchy, especially if you have lates. What I would suggest is at 600, because at 600 you can get no down payment, which is 3.5%. At 620, we'll give you 5%. So that's even better. So, and again, you're right. Most people don't know that, you know, even with lower scores, they can buy.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and so that would be a hindrance. Probably also, like I was just talking about, no down payment. People, they might not have money, and that might be why they say, hey, I can't save enough money, so I'm just gonna keep on renting.
Right.
Well, with this no down payment program, you don't have to worry about that.
Right.
I got a gentleman right now, literally, and I'm not kidding. He literally he didn't even have money for his appraisal. He had to borrow some money for his appraisal.
Right.
He had to wait 2 weeks to get the money for his earnest money. And guess what? He's literally getting cash back at the closing.
Wow.
I just found that out on my way here today.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Understand what I just said. He had almost nothing.
No money.
He couldn't order his appraisal right away. Had to save up 2 weeks for his earnest money. Nothing. And he's getting money back at the closing.
Okay.
Young man too, very young.
So how does that work? Like, break that down, because, you know, it's easy to say that, but how does that truly work?
Okay. So basically what it is we give you a second mortgage to cover your entire down payment. So if you got a 620 score, so first of all, let me take a step back. Down payment is 3.5%, right? Let's just talk about a small number. Let's talk about $200,000.
Okay.
Okay. On $200,000, your down payment of 3.5%. Was that $7,000? If I did that correct, it's $7,000. If you have a 620 score, we're gonna give you $10,000. So that means it's gonna cover that 7, and then another 3 is gonna go towards your closing costs.
Okay.
So if you, as a realtor, get them some closing cost credit,
Right.
they're gonna end up
Bringing little to nothing to the
little
table.
to nothing to the table.
Okay.
Little to nothing.
So again, 200,000 purchase price. 3.5% is typically the down payment that's
Correct,
required.
correct.
Okay. So you're going to give the 5%, right? 5% of that 200,000.
Yep.
Okay.
And I've seen this work on all properties: single family, 2 flat, 3 flat, 4. I close unless I pull out my calculator, I can't give you the direct numbers, which I'll pull it out because I don't care.
Yeah.
I closed a $435,000 deal the other day. Again, keep this in mind: on $435,000, you need about $15,225 for down payment. That's 3.5%. Now this person had a 623 score, so I gave him 5%. I gave him $21,750.
Wow.
That's right. So it covered that 15,
Right.
and then like another almost 7 went towards closing.
Right.
This person got money back too.
Right, right. So he's giving you the money, and we're helping you by negotiating with the seller on to pay pretty much all of your closing costs. So the goal is for you to come to the table with little of no money down.
And I'm telling you, this last person I just talked to you about as I was driving here, that is a true testament of you really don't have to have much money at all.
And you don't have any excuses at this point.
I thought I cut my phone off. You really don't have to have much money at all. You really don't. I'm talking about, come on, man.
Right.
I mean, come on.
And you have no excuse, no more excuses as to why you are not in a position to buy. Okay, so if it's a matter of, hey, let's work on the credit, do you have any type of systems and programs in place to help buyers increase their credit score?
I sure do. I do rapid rescores all the time. I just had someone, real quick story, he wanted to get down payment assistance. He wasn't going to close on the deal because he couldn't get down payment assistance because his debt ratio was too high. And he had to bring too much money to the table, like $27,000 or something like this to the table. So he added his fiance. His fiance had the income, so the debt ratios went down, so we were good there, but she had a 594 score. 2.5 weeks later, she's at a 631 score. Now they're getting the whole 5%. They're getting money back now. This just happened right now. I'm closing this deal in like hopefully by the end of this week, I'm hoping for.
Wow. So you say rapid rescore. What goes into rapid rescore?
Basically, I look at your scores. I give it to my girl, Marianne. She sends it in. And they basically tell us what you need to do in order to get your score up to a certain point. Okay. And as long as you do that and you give us proof it's done, we send that in. Then like 2 to 3 days later, boom, score is up. Now, it doesn't work with everyone, depending on what you have, but I also have other credit hookups too. So
Nice. That's
really
awesome.
cool.
That's
really
awesome.
cool.
So this rapid rescore and down payment programs, you are in a position right now to purchase your new home. I love how you talk about how you can help students get a home, right?
Yeah, and that's right now. Same thing with
coming out of college.
If you're fresh out of college and you got your school transcript and your job offer letter, you're ready to buy. You are ready to buy. And guess what? If you have no money, I got you on a no down payment program. Right. So you're still set. No matter how you dice it, it's still gonna be better than renting.
Right.
No matter how you look at it. It's gonna be way better than renting. So I mean, it's for everybody. It's for everybody. And guess what? I got people who have money and they still take advantage of the no down payment program.
You using other people's money, right? Save your money, use other people's money.
Yeah, and it's hot, especially because you can use it on multi-unit properties as well. You know.
What are some challenges that you see when working with buyers and getting them qualified? Like, what are some things that hinder us and keep us and prevent us outside of just, not wanting to do it or not having the knowledge and education? What else can put us in a position to stop us from becoming homeowners?
I'd say going to make big purchases before you try and buy a home, like getting a brand new car. Sometimes I get people who just got, car payment $980 a month. I'm like, man, that's almost a whole mortgage. Making big purchases, not prioritizing, in my opinion, of course, what to do first, which in my opinion would be to buy a multi-unit building, and then go get a property, then get a car. Listen, you get a multi-unit building first, that building will pay for your car. You get the car first, you can't afford to get the building.
Exactly.
It's crazy how it works, but it works like that sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say that, and then just making sure if you have student loans, you are not delinquent on those student loans. That's huge. That's really huge. And other than that, to be honest with you, it's just lack of knowledge. Yeah. Lack of knowledge, and we don't know what we don't know.
Right.
So that's why it's important for us, like right now, to be educating, because people don't know this stuff, and until you know it, you're gonna keep on doing what you've been doing, which is making your landlord rich.
Right. Yeah.
And you don't have to do that. You don't need it.
Fire your landlord or come and make me rich, right?
Yeah, right.
But we want everyone to become landlords. I have a testament on, and I totally agree with your first purchase should surely be a multi-unit, especially if you're single, you don't have any children, you're young. I don't care how old you are. If it's your first purchase, it should be a multi-unit. See, nothing wrong with a single family, but be in a position where you can make money, while you're sleeping, right?
Correct.
You can create an opportunity where your children, you can maybe pull equity out of that home and out of that building to put your children through college, help them to buy their first property. I think that's what's really key about owning a multi-unit first. I bought a 4-unit. And that was my very first purchase. And, I'm seeing it how it has blessed me. I've lived in it for 7 years. My mom lives in it now. My dad now is going to be moving back into it. And, you just, it helps, your family. Again, it's not just about you. It's about how you can help your family and others that are in need. So purchasing, and it's just more than just buying real estate. You just have to think about the big picture, right?
It's a smart move. It's a smart move.
Yeah.
And again, it's like, it's one of those things where no one's dumb, right? All we have to do is show people the way. And once you see that this phone is fire and it's burning my hand, you ain't gonna pick that phone up. Once you see that it's actually throwing away money to rent and you see it and we could show you, you're not gonna rent no more. It makes no sense when you look at it.
Yeah.
It just doesn't.
Now, are there any restrictions to this program, that the Access Zero program?
Well,
The down
the
payment.
only restriction is if you have less than a 620 score, your debt ratio has to be under 45.
Okay.
45 or under. 620 and up, you can go to 50. There are no income restrictions. This pairs up with FHA, so it follows all FHA guides. As long as it qualifies FHA, you can do it.
Okay. So you can't qualify if you want to go conventional?
No. Nope.
Okay.
Or if you're VA, no.
Okay.
FHA strictly.
Okay. So if a buyer wanted to purchase a condo, and normally, typically condos are only conventional.
Correct.
So that particular buyer would not be able to qualify for the Access Zero.
That is 100% correct.
Okay. Any programs for conventional buyers that may say, hey, I don't want to use FHA,
They can use IDA.
Okay.
IDA's still available.
Okay. Now explain IDA.
IDA is an Illinois grant program. They have, 3 different kinds. They have the forgivable, which gives you $6,000. And that one is forgiven over, I believe, a 5-year period.
Okay.
1/5 is forgiven every year. They have a repayable, which is $10,000. That's probably about between $89 and $110 a month, I would assume. And then they have a deferred. Deferred meaning you don't pay it back until you get ready to go sell your house or refinance that house, and that's $7,500.
Okay.
So that's good for conventional. You can use that for conventional or FHA.
Okay.
Or VA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Any other down payment programs, and can you couple any other down payment programs with IDA and with Access Zero?
You can't couple any with Access Zero, but you can couple with IDA.
Okay.
You definitely can. And different cities or areas have grants out there. If you reach out to them, reach out to the city hall, see what they got going on. My voice is going away. Excuse me. But yeah, there's some different other, and you would just look into, I know Woodlawn, excuse me, Woodlawn has some stuff going on sometimes. I think Will County has some things going on sometimes. Yeah, there's other things out there.
Okay. Now, a first-time buyer, how would you, outside of the obvious, how would you define a first-time buyer?
A first-time buyer is somebody who's never bought a house before.
Okay, so the obvious. Okay. So, let's say they purchased a home and they no longer own. Can they take advantage of first-time home buying program?
The interesting thing about that is that nowadays, you don't have to be a first-time home buyer to take advantage of it.
Right.
You can have a house today, sell it tomorrow, and still use the same grants. Anybody else can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So, but as long as you don't own currently.
Or if you're but you could be selling it.
Okay.
And then use it.
Okay.
So you can own one today, sell that one in the morning, buy one in the afternoon, and still be using the grants.
Gotcha. Because you can still use FHA.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. You sure can.
What are some FHA requirements? Like FHA obviously is 3.5%. Like
3.5% down. Requirements. Really, I'd say a 580 score or higher. And that's really your debt ratio with FHA, depending on your score. If it's a 580, you're probably going to be closer to like a 43%. But if you're over, say, a 620, 630, you can go up to 56% debt ratio. Short of that, FHA is very easy to qualify for.
Now, when you say debt ratio and debt to income ratio, what does that look like? Define that.
Okay, so debt to income ratio is exactly what it sounds like. It's your debt versus your income. So for instance, if you make $3,000 a month gross, because we always talk gross, if you make $3,000 a month gross and your monthly debt that you pay out, I'm talking about credit card debts, car notes, installment notes, student loans. I'm not talking about insurance, cell phone bill, light bill. I'm not talking about that. If that was $1,500 a month and your gross income was $3,000, you'd be at a 50% debt ratio. Because $1,500 is half of $3,000. So that would be considered a 50% debt ratio.
Okay.
You want your debt ratio to be, about 50%. You can go up to 55%.
Okay.
Depending on your credit score.
Okay. Okay. All right.
FHA is easy to qualify for. And again, it's lack of knowledge. It's lack of knowledge, man. Because if most of us knew what we don't know, we'd be doing things differently. It just is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if a buyer, okay, I already asked that question.
That's okay.
What happens if a buyer wants to sell or refinance a property before the assistance is fully forgiven? So, going back to Ida.
The Ida with the 1/5. Okay, so that one, the one that is forgiven over 5 years. So each year, 1/5 of it is forgiven.
Okay.
So if you get the home in 2020 and you sell it in 2023, you still are going to have 2/5 to pay of that.
Okay.
The 6,000.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean, again, there are so many opportunities available for buyers, first time, second time, third time buyers. What challenges are you seeing? Any challenges that are coming up that are you seeing consistently that you all been facing on the lending side?
Having to do with the buyers?
Yeah. Just the market period.
Well, you know what? I hate to be repetitive, but lack of knowledge is key. That's just huge because the lending process is easy. We got that down pat. It's a well-oiled machine. It's just a matter of what we're putting into that machine. So, for instance, you can't, if you don't know better, you might be in the process and go out and go get a loan, a personal loan, which you know that you can't go get a personal loan once you're approved. As a matter of fact, once you're approved, you shouldn't be doing anything. You should be going into a financial coma-like sleep. You shouldn't be doing anything but what you've been doing, which is paying your debt on time. Don't go pay nothing off. Don't do anything. By all means, talk to us first before you do anything different.
Right.
Because that's when you're going to make a mistake. I try and educate everybody on that up front. Once I give you this approval, don't do anything else.
Right.
You're in cement. You're in the sleep. You're in the coma sleep. Nothing else until you get this house. And then you can go out and spend and do whatever you want to do. Short of that, no. No loans. Don't go buy your furniture and stuff right now. Your couches and your refrigerator. No. Do nothing until you get in. Stuff like that is pretty much it. Short of that, once I get somebody approved, I talk to them. I go over, their options and what I got them, the down payment assistance, so forth and so on. And I always, always, always look for down payment assistance up front. You never have to ask me for it. I'm always looking for it.
Now, how long is the process from the time they get pre-approved to the time you're actually able to close?
Now, that's a good question. That's actually kind of a trick question because it's up to you. It's up to you. How quick I can close is up to you. So, if you're an organized person, or semi-organized, and when I ask you for something, you get it to me in 24 to 48 hours, I can tell you right now, I can close you in 2 weeks. I can do that. My team is that good that we can close in 2 weeks. Now, if you're not an organized person, or if you're a person where I have to ask you for things 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 times, for instance, a current pay stub or a clear copy of a pay stub, or anything for that matter, that could take 2 months. It could.
Right.
So really it's up to you. The people who are on point and organized, I close quick all the time. people who are not, I still close you. It just takes longer because I gotta beat you up to get what I need from you, which is fine. I don't mind fighting. But you know, when you want to buy a house, you should want to buy a house. And if you want to buy a house, let's get that stuff in so we can get you closed.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
And it can take, you know, it does depend on you, right?
Yeah,
there are so many moving pieces to a real estate transaction that, you know, you are one piece of that transaction, right? Your loan officer is another piece. Your real estate agent is one piece. The seller is another piece. So as quick as you deliver, you know, we can help to move the process forward and communicate effectively with the other side to get you to the table sooner than later.
I got a deal right now. Right now, it's clear to close. I got this thing clear to close in probably about 12 days. And come to find out, there's an injunction. An injunction. It was an injunction by the city, some type of electrical work that had to be done. The work is done now, but the city still hasn't come out. They're backed up by like 30 days.
Wow.
I'm sitting up clear to close.
Right.
We went to the closing table and found this out.
Wow.
And we can't close.
Yeah.
We're just sitting up clear to close. We gotta wait for the inspector to come out, inspect it. If you saw one of my Facebook posts recently, I was just saying, hey, who knows the city inspector?
Wow.
Because I'm trying to get somebody out there so I can close this deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not always on the buyer. It can be on the seller too.
Yeah.
Or, you know, whoever.
And real estate is never a straight line. It's rarely a straight line. We'll say that. It's rarely a straight line. I closed one yesterday, and the buyer went to do the final walkthrough, and she noticed that there was some pellet holes in a few of the windows. I guess the seller removed the blinds. I'm like, why did she remove the blinds? And then the buyer wanted additional credit. What's even more crazy is that I got a text at like 3:45 a.m. from my seller. She had been in a car crash. She was driving back to Florida from Chicago to clean out the house, or Kankakee rather, to clean out the house. And, you know, so it's just, that was a delay because now we're negotiating with the buyer on the close or the additional credit. And I didn't want to give another dime, but my client now, thanking God for life, she's like, get it done, you know? So it's really a straight line. And it's important to have the right people on your team. Just like Riccardo, he's calling, trying to find out if there are any city inspectors. He's not just like, oh, okay, well, y'all let me know when it closes. He's getting he's getting in the game and rolling his sleeve up to see who do I know that can help move this forward.
Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely, I'm still fighting to get that done right now as we speak. That's a live deal right now.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's and I get it. You know, things happen, but don't let that detour you. Do not let that detour you from buying because you're renting, right? And I don't mind. Listen. I talk to a lot of people. I educate a lot of people, and you know what? Some people get it the first time I talk to them about it. Some people get it the 8th time I talk to them about it. But I keep coming back. I'm gonna keep on coming. Like I tell you, I'm like a black Harriet Tubman, you know, but the male version. I'm gonna keep on coming back for people. I'm gonna keep on coming back. I'm not gonna stop coming back. If you don't get it this time, I'm gonna come back.
Right.
You know, I'm gonna come back and keep on talking to you until you actually get it. Because once you get it, then not only are you going to be happy, not only are you going to stop renting, not only are you going to change your life, but you're going to start telling other people about it.
It's life-changing.
It's life-changing. It's definitely life-changing.
We change lives. As real estate professionals, as lenders, we change lives. And like Riccardo started off in the beginning, there was a time when we couldn't do this. We couldn't buy real estate.
Not the 1960s.
You know, we could not buy. And you know why we couldn't buy? Because they understood the benefits of home ownership. And that's something that we don't understand. And that's why we don't own, because we don't understand the benefits.
Yep. And we need to understand
It's the benefits. That's why people fight for marriage. That's why same-sex people fight for marriage, because there are benefits to being married, right? There are benefits that come along with it. And so that's what we do. You know, we're here to change lives. We're here to remind you again, this home that you're purchasing, you can live in it for 10, 15, 20 years. now, prayerfully the equity has gone up, which it will. The equity has gone up, and it, meaning the value of it and how much you owe versus how much it's worth has gone up. Now, hey, if I'm in a position where I now I need some money, I want to renovate, or I want to buy more real estate, or I want to, again, put my children through college, or I want to go to college, and I don't want to take out another loan, you have the equity in your home.
Yeah.
And or you sell it, now you can go retire, you got, a couple $100,000 in the bank. There's so many benefits that come with home ownership.
I'm sitting here trying to figure out why people want to rent. Like I'm trying to answer my mind right now. Why would somebody want to rent? You're literally doing the same thing. You're paying somebody every month. That's just, instead of paying this way, you pay this way. It's the same thing, and it won't go up every year. So I'm trying to figure out why, unless you just figure you can't do it, because that's probably a big one. I can't do it. It's too hard. I don't know.
It appears to be overwhelming. It's fear. So let's talk about that.
Fear.
It's fear. I was just talking to a friend who's 50 years old, 50-year-old guy who really doesn't like to fly. He doesn't like to get on a plane. And so I'm like, I don't know how this gonna work out, because your girl like to catch flights, okay? Right. And, he wants to talk about how, it's not fear, it's just, I'm uncomfortable and this. No, honey, the root cause of that is fear. Yeah. Let's get to the root of it.
Yeah. And
Let's get to the root of it.
Once you identify that,
exactly,
then you can move on. If you're scared, if you think you can't do it, or it's just gonna be too tough, or let's break that down. Let's just make sure it's not fear, because it could be fear. And again, there's nothing wrong with being fearful of the unknown.
Right.
I mean, that's natural. That's just totally natural.
And then when you're looking at renters also, some renters, they're like, oh man, I have to take on, now I can't call my landlord when the furnace fall apart, when the roof starts leaking, and, all of those things. Now the maintenance calls come in. Who am I going to call? Those are things too sometimes that we have, some objections that we have to overcome. Hey, it's part of it.
There's nothing wrong with that. And you know what? You don't forget, you could always get a warranty. When you buy the home, she can negotiate that the sellers pay for a home warranty, so it won't cost you much to take care of any of that stuff.
And that's key. That's a good point. We do ask for sometimes a 13-month home warranty, and that warranty can cover you for your first year of being a new homeowner, right? You can get a 13-month home warranty paid for by the seller, right? That can cover the appliances. Sometimes it could cover some plumbing. It could cover some things that could fall apart, or some challenges that you can have within the first 13 months of you becoming a homeowner. So that's key. That makes you a little more comfortable, right?
But then can't they also keep that going if they want to?
Of course they can.
So technically, you can have a warranty on your home for the whole time you own it.
Right. And then you call the home warranty company saying, hey, my hot water tank just went out. They bring someone in, and all you paying is, deductible for them to come in and handle that. So it's like, I guess the first year of marriage or something like that. You getting used to it, and, and that's what it is. It's a commitment. Some people are scared of commitments too.
Yeah,
we can talk about all the fear that's keeping, people from committed. And I'll just be honest, some guys, sometimes my male clients, let me tell you something, I had one young man, I literally had to fire him, because you had me all at Westmont and Westchester and Lisle and Naperville, and we put one under contract, and then now he has all, because he's never owned, he's never taken out a loan on anything, even with cars or anything, he'll pay cash for it. Right. And so now he canceled that deal, right? When we are literally a week from closing.
Oh, wow.
Okay, now you come back over here, you want to pay cash now, and you want to look at homes in Bridgeport and McKinley Park, and we're looking, and he want to look at 6, 7 o'clock at night and on a Friday, and I'm like, okay, what exactly are you looking for? Because I've shown you everything in your criteria, and I still have to think about it. I have to think about it. Okay, well, this is what you're gonna do, right? I've shown you 10 to 15 homes already, and you have not made an offer on one. I don't think this relationship I don't think I'm the agent for you.
Hey,
I don't think I'm the agent for you because there's no pressure. But if you're motivated, when you're motivated, and as a good real estate professional, my job is to find out what is important to you. What's important to you? So after Riccardo gives you the pre-approval letter and he says, all right, go shopping. We're going to sit down and have a consultation. We're going to talk about what's important to you because I'm going to ask some questions and get down to the heart of it. So that when we're looking at homes, we're going to make sure we're looking at homes within the criteria that you want. So it really don't take long.
That you want, not what she wants, what you want. What's going to make you happy.
So if you don't know, then how am I supposed to know?
Right.
How am I supposed to know if you can't, tell me that, right? So, it's key, guys, to know what you want.
Yeah.
And again, that commitment. I'm going back to that commitment, right? Sometimes you men, buyers, some guys like to more so be on the investing side of it, right? Yeah. But some guys, when first time buyers, you have to reel them in, honey. You got to push and pull. Yeah. Because that 30-year commitment, y'all don't like that. Y'all are nervous about that commitment.
But they got to understand, you're not committed for 30 years. You're not committed for 6 months. If you buy it today and for whatever reason you want to sell it tomorrow, you can sell it tomorrow. No one's going to stop you. You aren't committed. You're never just stuck. You could always rent it out or you could sell it. I mean, you're just never stuck. And people do think that sometimes. I don't want to be stuck into the...
Right.
No, please, you're not stuck. You don't want it, get rid of it.
Right.
Or rent it. Give it to Riccardo, I'll tell you.
Right, right. So you don't have to, like if you purchase a home, even as an FHA buyer, how long do you have to stay in a home as an FHA buyer?
You don't never have to stay in a home. There's no particular time to stay in the home. People say 12 months, people say 6 months. Things happen in life. If you gotta leave or move or whatever you gotta do, you can just do it. No one's gonna say you're in trouble because now you can't. No, things happen in life.
Right.
To everybody, and nothing's perfect. So it's really up to you,
So you can sell within a year, 6 months if you're an FHA buyer.
Yeah, you can sell. Yep, absolutely. You absolutely can.
All right. See, a lot of times we have to overcome the myths of
You can. No one can stop you from doing that.
We have to talk about the truth versus the myth, right?
Yeah.
What we hear, we hear, we can't sell a property if we've been in it. If it's FHA, we can't sell it, or we can't live in it. We have to live in it for a certain amount of time before we can buy something else or before we can sell.
Correct. And you can refinance too. I mean, at the end of the day, they like for you to make 6 payments. They love for you to make 6 payments before you refinance.
Right.
Especially because loan officers get hit with what's called an early payoff fee. So if you buy a house in June and you refinance, and let's just say like in August, that whoever the loan officer is going to have to pay back whatever money they made on that deal when they closed it. Probably never heard that before.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, I've never heard anybody even talk about that before. That's more like an inner type deal, but I don't care. I mean, we're candid. I have nothing to hide. That just is what it is. Yeah. It's called EPO, early payoff.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, okay, so lenders are hit with that EPO.
Yep.
And
the loan officer specifically will pay it back.
The loan officer
will pay back whatever commission they made on that deal.
Wow.
Yeah.
So on the buyer side, the borrower, right? Let's say they choose to sell, before the 30 years. Is there early prepayment penalty? Is there a prepayment penalty still?
For the buyer, no. Illinois got rid of prepayment penalties, I believe, back in, I don't know, it's been a long time. Since I think even before 2008, I don't think we had them. Or maybe around that time, I'm not sure, 2005, I'm not sure. But it's been a while since we've had prepayment penalties. Okay. So you never have to worry about that as a buyer.
Okay, awesome.
Not in Illinois, at least.
Yeah. Wow, so loan officers have a prepayment penalty if you refinance within less than 6 months.
Yeah. Or 6 payments.
6 payments.
Yeah.
Okay. So after those 6 payments, a buyer can refinance. So let's say the interest rates are, have they come down now?
They've come down some, yeah.
Okay.
They have come down some.
Okay.
I'm thinking with this election we got coming up, we're going to see something different. Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows what's going to happen in this election?
Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows, man? I'm excited to see. I wish I could see another debate. We won't go political.
No, they said October.
Are they going to do it again?
Yeah,
I thought he said they going to do it again.
I think I saw that they agreed to do another one in October. Yeah, I believe I saw that.
He said I'm not.
Listen, you see so much. It could be fake news.
Wow.
Who knows?
Wow. That'll be interesting.
Yeah. So we're not gonna go political. We might agree. I got a feeling we agree on some politics, but
yeah, we do. I'm sure we do. And I think the rates are gonna go down even more once we get a little bit further off into this year, because we got a couple more months before election. Wow.
So buyers, so you can refinance within 6 months, right? So if the interest rates are 6.1, 6.2, 5, whatever they are right now, within 6 months you can refinance to, if it go down to 4.5%, 5%.
Yeah. You just want to make sure it makes sense.
Do you think that we will ever get to interest rates where they were during COVID?
Only way we get down to those 2s and stuff like that again, in my opinion, is if we have some type of,
God forbid,
catastrophe.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
Yeah, and what people don't realize is that COVID, that wasn't.
That was something that may
That was
never
a
happen.
catastrophe, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the time you got to jump in, baby.
Yeah.
You got to jump in and take advantage of an opportunity of a time, because it's not coming back.
Not like that.
Prayerfully, it will never, right?
Yeah. And again, but that being said, who cares about the rates, right? Rates aren't that important, and we all know that. When you rent, because some renters don't want high interest rates, and the rates are a little bit higher than they were 3-4 years ago. But when you rent, you pay 100% interest. We talk about this. 100% interest. There's no two ways to look at it. You pay 100%. You can't argue that down with me. You can't. When you rent, you might say, I don't pay no interest. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. You're seeing no return for your money. You're paying this landlord, you give them that $1,500 a month, however much, maybe $1,800 or $2,000 a month, and you're not seeing anything for it. Not a dime.
Yep.
So that's 100%. When you buy a home, at least you're at 7%, 6.5%, 5.5%. That's great. We just save you 85%, 90%. So don't get caught up on those rates, because you are paying the highest rate possible. You're paying the highest rate possible when you rent.
So just create a goal, right? Just create a plan. Like one of my new precious brokers that just recently joined, I told her, I'm like, your goal, I'm making my goal her goal.
Right.
It's to get a multi-unit. And I hope it is her plan.
Yeah.
And just create a plan. Like, hey, within the next 2 years, I'm gonna sell this many houses. And when you do your taxes as an independent contractor, make sure you look like you made some money.
Yeah, don't write everything off.
Don't write everything off. That's what I told my accountant. I'm like, listen, make sure I look like I make some money, because I want a condo. I need to get out of my building. I don't care how much I had to pay in taxes. Make sure I look like I make some money. That's all I can tell you. I don't know anything about taxes and all that other stuff. Just make sure I look like I make some money.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're self-employed, you do not want to write off everything in the nation if you're going to buy a home. Anything else you're doing besides buying a house doesn't matter. But if you're trying to buy a house and you're self-employed, you don't want to write off everything. You just don't want to do it. It's horrible. It kills your purchase power.
Yep.
It kills it. It literally kills it. And what I mean by that, for instance, I had a woman, she came to me, she had her own business, she made about $980,000. She wrote off like $970,000. So look, like she made $10,000 and she couldn't buy it.
Crazy.
And she was sick. And I know why she was sick.
Dude.
Yeah.
I had a guy. We on the phone with the lender, and he's, what about what I have in my bank account? She's like, sir, it looks like you only made $1,000.
Yeah.
But he had money in the bank. Maybe he had some money saved. I don't know. But your tax returns or whatever only look like you made $1,000.
Now that being said, I do have a bank statement program too. So if you have money in the bank consistently in the bank, cash or what, going through your bank every month, I have a 12-month bank statement program and a 24-month bank statement program. The only difference between the two is that with 12 months, the rate is going to be higher than with 24 months. You're going to need about 10% down though. But yeah, that's available as well.
That's awesome.
No NSF. You can have any NSFs. No NSFs.
What is that?
Non-sufficient funds.
Okay, non-sufficient funds. Okay, I don't know what that is. I'm like, what's that?
What's that? Like, you speaking another language.
Exactly. That's dope, man. Any other programs that you can think of, anything else that you can think of that could help benefit first, second, third time buyers, investors, anything at Loan Depot. This is Riccardo with Loan Depot, the Rhino.
Yep, the Hot Young Rhino.
Hot Young Rhino. Any other programs you can think of?
Any other programs I can think of right now? I'm telling you, that Access Zero program, man, that's the bee's knees. I've seen that program change so many lives. It came out October 19th. And I know exactly when it came out because I was itching for it. I learned everything about it way before it ever came out. That thing is changing lives, man. I'm talking about, and again, you were just saying, we're talking about money and listen, you don't have to worry about that. Don't forget, you don't have to have much money. You don't. This gentleman I told you about right now, that's almost ready to close, he's getting money back. He literally had he couldn't even pay for his appraisal at first. Appraisal was only $475. And I'm just saying, it's amazing. So, I really don't have any other programs right now that I would like to speak about that even come close or even make sense to even talk about, because Access Zero is the way, in my opinion. In my opinion, it is. And again, you can get a multi-unit right now. You don't have to wait to get that multi-unit. You don't have to wait to save that money. You can get it right now with no money down and possibly walk away with money at the closing table.
Nice.
You know, like
nice.
I'm telling you, it's sick. It's just ridiculous. Nice. And this can be used anywhere but New York. Any state but New York.
Wow. Wow.
So if you got a family friend or somebody in another state and they're renting and they don't have much money, or even if they do got money, no money down programs for them. Yeah.
Can you qualify them in other states?
Yeah.
Or?
All of them.
All of them.
Except for New York.
Oh, okay. You can.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Awesome. Well, how can, potential buyers that will likely see this video reach you?
You can reach me by just Googling my name, Riccardo Wardlow. I'm not hard to find, with 2 C's, Riccardo Wardlow, or you can call me direct at 630-670-8266, 630-670-8266. I'm out on social media. I'll come out if you want me to come. Listen, I had sometimes people hit me up and say, hey, you know what? My whole family needs to own. The last person did this, she made a big old pot of gumbo, invited her whole family over there, and we ate gumbo, and I talked to them about owning.
Nice.
And I'm getting them one by one, the whole family, into property.
I love that.
I mean,
changing the whole generation, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's wonderful.
That's
well,
amazing.
Listen, reach out to us. My name is Karmen Spears of Power Realty Chicagoland. You can reach me at 708-466-9128. One of the top producers right here in the She Naive. You heard me? And we are an awesome team. We work well together. We are here to look out for your best interests, more importantly, right? Because we know how important it is to become a homeowner. We know how important it is to change your life and the lives of your entire family. It is it's bigger than a commission, y'all. Please don't get it twisted. We always think somebody looking for money and out for this and that. It's a job, and yet it's also a job that changes lives.
And don't forget, statistics show that kids who are brought up in a house are more successful than kids that are brought up in an apartment. It's not me saying it. You Google it if you want to Google it.
Yeah.
That's true.
I didn't grow up in a house, but I've always wanted one though. I used to like, Mom, I want a house, I want a house. I really pushed my mother. She bought her first home when I was 21. So I pushed her, and I was on the phone calling different agents and, all this other stuff. So it's not, funny how I ended up in this position here, right? As a real estate professional and changing lives. But it's important. It gives you a sense of pride. It definitely gives you a sense of pride. And don't feel bad if you're not there yet.
Right.
Don't feel bad if you're not there yet. You know what I'm saying? Don't feel bad if you're not there yet at any age, right? You could be 67, 55, 92.
93 was the oldest I put in.
93. Don't feel bad. Just say, listen, I'm going to do better. I want more. It's never too late to start, baby. As long as you got breath in your body, you can do it.
Absolutely. You need the will, and don't forget, you can do it. You can do it.
You can do it.
You can. You need somebody to tell you. I'm gonna tell you.
Yes, I
You can do it. You can.
Yes, you can.
You can.
Right.
And listen, one last thing, and this is kind of important. Don't let negative people get in your ear. Don't do that, because that's a big one.
Yes.
If you want to talk about what stops people sometimes,
Yes.
it's being around and hanging out with negative people.
Yes.
Because somebody who's negative and doesn't want to own is going to try and get in your ear to try and convince you not to own.
Right.
So stay away from negative people, man, because they're going to really rain on your parade. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. Talk to somebody who already owns and watch what they have to say. They're going to say, yes, you should own. You should. You know? You talk to somebody who doesn't, they're going to try and shoot you down a lot of times.
Not only that, not every no transaction is the same. Just like there are no two parcels that are the same, no transaction is the same. So even though you may talk to your cousin that purchased, their process is completely different. Their credit score different, their income different, where they lay their head is different, their DNA is different, everything is different about that person. Okay, so don't look at them and say, well, my cousin did this and my cousin had that, and focus on you. In fact, don't even tell them. Don't even tell them that you buying. I didn't tell nobody that I was buying my condo until I was in it, ready to close. Okay? The first time, because again, you're a little nervous and so forth, but every single transaction is different.
Sure is.
The process is different. Okay? So trust your team. If you don't trust your team, baby, fire them. You can fire me, baby, anytime. Hey, listen, no hard feelings, okay? Go and work with people who you trust. Because you're going to be listening to other people who, at the end of the day, they're speaking from their perspective. You have your own.
You can do this.
You have your own, you know? So absolutely, but this was awesome.
I'm excited, man.
I miss sitting on Karmen's couch, man. You know, we got to get back on it.
I like Karmen's couch.
And keep this going forward. This was fun, and we are here to help. We are here to help. Trust and believe. We are your team, and we're looking out for your best interests. And you know, it's a relationship.
Don't be scared.
And it's a relationship, and it won't end at the closing. It will only be the beginning. So call us when you're ready. We look forward to servicing you in the near future. You all have a wonderful day, wonderful week, rest of the year. Be blessed.
And don't forget, you're already doing it. You're already doing it.
Yes,
and
sir.
Don't forget this as well. And this is a big thing, right? Pat yourself on the back. Pat yourself on the back, because you should. But keep in mind, when you're patting yourself on the back, you aren't patting yourself on the back right now. You're patting yourself on the back from 5 years ago. Because the things you did 5 years ago is what got you to where you are right this moment. And the things you do right this moment is going to directly affect where you are 5 years from now. So, just make that decision.
Make a decision.
Right?
Make a decision. Yes, make a decision and do it, and have no fear.
Whether you're 18, 19, or 93 years old, you can own.
Period.
Okay? Don't forget that.
Yes.
Let's get it.
This is awesome. Thank you.
Peace.